Hello! Are you, like so many people, searching for the answer perhaps to your health issue, trying to figure out how to make law of attraction work so that it brings you the love of your dreams or the money you've always been after? Stay tuned and I will help you find that answer. Hello, I'm KALYN and this is my buddy Oberon. You could see that Oberon is naturally so wise, and I love when he brings that wisdom to all of my videos. Me, I'm the co-founder of the Golden Flow System of Accelerated Well-Being and Abundance. I also have a marketing firm, so you can say that I'm abundant, so sometimes I like to say that you could call me your abundance coach. However, I also really like to talk about the riches of life. Not being rich, although it can include that, but the riches of life. And today, what I'm wanting to talk about in this video is I got a request from someone who I've worked with, a client, who wants to know how to kind of get through this time that she's going through. Because she's in this phase where she keeps repeating these pattern behaviors, these cycles in her life that kind of happen over and over. And the truth is that happens to all of us. And she's kind of going, I want to get off the ride. I want to figure out how to switch and have a totally different experience. Pretty wise, that's great. And a part of that question begs the question of, what's the answer to my issue or my problem kind of thing? If only I had a magic wand, if I looked under the right magic rock, maybe there would be the key to unlock the universe. Found a leprechaun, maybe the leprechaun would take me to his or her pot of gold. I was looking online and I was researching about healthy eating because if you didn't already know, I'm also an author, and one of my more popular books is called Shamanic Egg Cleansing. This is a book about doing an egg cleansing. The egg cleansing is an old Mesoamerican technique that actually has roots all the way, I think, back to like Italy. I mean, hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years of this way of cleansing a body with an egg. It's rather amazing, and I therefore have written about healing. I have also dealt with and continue to deal with some issues with food and my body and getting my body healed or cured. Well, so many people are looking for the cure in life. KALYN, how do I get off this ride? KALYN, how do I attract my spiritual relationship? KALYN, how do I make this all better? Well, I am so happy to help people, and I always try to help them get in the flow where law of attraction is going to effortlessly bring what they're after. I try to help by having written the book and help them with their healing, but when it comes down to a cure, one thing that you have to realize is, well, it was said so beautifully on the website I was looking at. There was sort of like an update, and it said something about there's only one person in the world who's going to solve your problem. And that's you. You are the number one cure. Now with that, I can always help you find yourself, connect with yourself, be honest with yourself, get yourself in the flow. But the only person who's ever going to really resolve your issues, you. Recently, some of my issues have been kind of flaring up with my body, so I started going to an acupuncturist, and I'm debating going to a nutritionist. The thing is, I realized at one point that I was kind of hoping that the acupuncturist or the nutritionist would have the answer for me. That they would be able to tell me what exactly the problem is and why I have some of the issues that I have, which I wrote about in my book, which have something to do with chronic fatigue. And, I'm finding that there could be one of 100 causes to it. And again, hoping that a medical doctor or someone would have the answer so that I could find the cure. And then all of a sudden I realized that I was kind of hoping for that, and I kind of stopped and went, no, I'm the only one who's going to find the cure. No one else knows my body in the sense that I'm with my body all of the time, just like no one else knows your life in the sense that you're with yourself all of the time. Now, it's true, I'm really good at seeing people's patterns and helping them see their patterns so that they can get in the flow, so that they can work on their emotional healing, their mental healing, their physical healing, whatever it is that they need to work on to get to that place where it feels like you have more of a cure, where it feels like you've unlocked the secrets of the universe, and you're starting to tap into the richness that life has to offer. Because life offers richness in the form of abundance, in health, in love, in money, in creativity, in success, in enjoyment. There are many riches in life, and it's all about tapping into them. And we all want to tap into them. But you are that first and primary key, if you will, to unlock those riches. There isn't a cure out there that someone else can really necessarily give you unless you're in the right place. And when you're in the right place, a lot of the times, it's still a lot dependent upon you. In other words, it's true that sometimes someone has, for example, a debilitating illness, or my father-in-law had something wrong with him and he was on his deathbed. And then the doctors with like And then the doctors, because my father-in-law insisted on sending a stool sample to a certain lab where he knew someone, they finally found the parasite that he had picked up traveling, and they were able to give him a cure. And sure enough, it saved his life and it cured him. But my point is, do you see how he took part in it? And sometimes we don't take part in it, but we really have that attitude that we're sure that we're going to do this. We're with ourselves. We're convinced. Well, the same thing happens with anything in your life. I have found that I need to take responsibility, and that every time I take responsibility and I help myself in my life, well, that starts to change everything from my health to the riches that I'm living in my life. So you yourself are the first key. Now, the next step that I want you to really take into account, because this makes a really big difference in helping you get things to a place where they're at the next level, is that you want to tap into the version of you that is that healthier version, or that version that's out of the pattern, the version that has love in her life or in his life. When you tap into that version and you start to really think about yourself as being in that flow, which means you start to connect with those energies, those thoughts, those feelings, well, then one of the things that happens is you start to really become that version. You start to have your being coming from those ideas, those energies. You start to put something else in motion, and that can make all the difference. For example, if the person that I'm working with wants to get off the roller coaster ride, then one of the things that she really needs to do is start to think about what ride is next. Is it a car ride? Is it a plane ride? In other words, we're always on a journey in life. And metaphorically speaking, you're going to go from one ride to the next, and you want it to be better because you're having one experience, and if there's something you don't like about it, you want it to be better. So the very best thing that she can do is start to imagine, what's that next ride like? Who am I in that next ride? What's different? Do I have a different job? Am I in a different relationship? What all is different, and how do I feel that's different? What am I thinking that's different? Because at that point, I'm going to come from a different energy. Because a lot of times, you may not know how to monitor energy. You may not know how to come from a different energy. You may not have a good idea that you really do sense energy. So you don't have to worry about it. Skip the energy. Think about what thoughts you'd be having. Feel about what feelings you would be experiencing. What things you would be doing, and start to tap into those. As you do that, one of the things that will happen is that you will automatically start to put out a very different energy. You will start to put your best foot forward, if you will, your best thoughts, your best feelings. You'll start to naturally come from that place, and you really start to create something that's different for yourself. So you are the cure, and then you want to behave that way. When you do, you're going to set everything into a different flow of energy. You'll be in a different golden flow that vibrates more highly, that automatically has law of attraction working better for it, that automatically is filled with more cures in your life because you are in that flow. At that point, you might find the right answer, the right doctor, the right solution. Me, myself, I think I might be on some of that track too. All because I'm doing some of this just like I'm sharing with you. It's so important to make sure that you are your first cure and that you are being who you know yourself to be. That cured version of you or the healed version of you. Because in some ways, it's not going to matter. In some ways, there's no difference when you're coming from a more evolved version of yourself, or you can say the version of yourself that's living your dreams. When you connect with that energy and you get into that flow, everything can change for you. Now, please be sure to subscribe to the video if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, so that you get the next wonderful, clear, wise video that Oberon helps me conjure up for you to help you enjoy the richness in life. Or join our Golden Tribe, our email list, and that way you will receive an email from Oberon and I once a week or once every other week, depending on how many videos we're getting done and what other things we've got going on. Because we do have a marketing firm we're running as well, you know. So we have a lot of fun in these videos. And please comment if you have any questions or any topics that you'd like for us to address, or any comments about the video. Please do. We'd love to read about what you're thinking, read about how it's all going for you, and we'd love to help you tap into that golden flow so that you are living the richness of life as well.